Now, I'm not gonna lie, for a while now, I've actually thought, how on earth have Kirkland been getting away with it? Like, been getting away with, I guess, well, let me hit the shot, right? Oh, that's got so much spin on it. Watch this, watch this. Come back down the hill. Keep coming back down the hill. Ho ho! I guess, ripping off other brands. We all know TaylorMade launched a lawsuit when Kirkland brought out their irons this year, and it literally took the golf world by storm. Now, we're not going to talk about that. I want to talk about something far better. Or, oh my God, that had so much spin on it. Came past the flag. I want to talk about what real golfers who have actually used the irons in 2024 think of them. So I've been doing some digging, going on forums and finding some reviews. My days, that pitched all the way here and ended up all the way down there. You know what? That must have had a chance. And so for the price point, are they worth it? Because a few of the reviews that I found, some say they are, and some, I'll be honest, say they're not. Okay, let's see if I can hold this one up the hill. That must be really quite, well, I guess slow up if it's quick down. Let's see. Go on then. I guess though, a nice tap-in par to start this vlog. Oh, that shadow was getting in my way. Shadow was getting in my way. And you know what, for £380, some people would also argue that you can't go wrong. Now, we all saw those images online of places like My Golf Spy, literally cutting irons in two to see what the technology was the same. Now, at that point, Kirkland came out and said that they haven't done anything wrong. They've essentially just made a really forgiving iron that they fully believe is their own product. TaylorMade fully believe that they have literally ripped off their iron, and the lawsuit, as I say, is pending. Now, I want to go through one of the first reviews, and this one is from 5 months ago. Like, I've tried to do this in the most balanced way possible and got these all off COSTCO KIRKLAND website where you buy them from. This one's from Craig saying, I would say these are lower end mid-range clubs. If you are playing a really old or beginner set, you will likely see improvements. I play a name brand set that came out 4 years ago and I purchased them for around $200. Interestingly, less than the Kirklands, which are more than the Easy sets. These clubs lack forgiveness and distance in my experience. Additionally, it gaps your distances between their pitching wedge and 52 in separate wedge sets. I played 2 rounds outdoors and 2 hours in the sim with them. I would wait for at least a year or so where name brand models to go on sale and hit them in the sim to get the same sort of feel. I play Costco golf balls, gloves, wedges, which are all great, and the driver is on the way. These irons miss the mark. And what I find interesting about this is a person who is fully on board with Kirkland, Costco as a brand, plays everything else apart from these irons. And this comes to the point, sometimes can something just really be too good to be true? Like he mentioned on that review about the gapping between the wedges, but also I'd be saying like, what about the gapping on every single one of the clubs? Manufacturers have tolerances, right? And tolerances of degrees. This could be a degree, this could be half a degree. All I'm saying is I don't know what Kirkland's are, but something's got to give somewhere, right? If these are at a fraction of the price of the equivalent in TaylorMade, which are over £1,000, is there going to be discrepancy in gapping? And when you're in a scenario like this, yes, this one right here, you want to know how far one of your clubs goes, or all of them, to matter of fact. Now, for 1 minute, I'm not saying go and return them. But what I'm saying is, golf's expensive, right? I hate to say it, but it is. Something has to give. And whether that's in the quality, and what I mean by quality is not the materials, in the actual machining, in the actual quality control. So when it leaves that factory, is it what it says it is? Is it the degrees it says it is? I don't know, but I'm offering this argument. And have Kirkland got it wrong? Because if they do have this lawsuit, they could be in serious trouble. Okay, this is, gonna sound crazy, I'm gonna hit 99 here. It's 159 downwind, 99 coming out for you. Now I really wanna get into this next comment. So on the way down here, we'll go through that one. Sounds crazy with water short, I'm hitting a 99. I'm gonna go middle of the green. I'm gonna wimp out. I'm sorry guys, I really am sorry. Safe as houses. I wasn't losing that golf ball. Look at that spin. Oh, it's gone from back left to middle of the green. You can really get it moving out here in Portugal, you can. This is also a good point just to remind you that this channel is powered by you, the viewers. So whatever you want me to discuss, talk about in the equipment part of the golf industry, for sure, just pop it down below. But be quick, because as I always say, I make so much content, I plan it every single evening, and I want to choose yours. So as long as you subscribe and you turn on the bell, put whatever you want me to test or talk about next down below in the comments. Before we start driving, let's go through this comment. The more manufacturers, the better. Keep the competition healthy, hopefully prices will come down. And that's interesting, isn't it? I'm saying this could be a mistake from Kirkland, but is this the one that drives the prices down for irons? It's a weird one. I don't believe it ever will, but I get the point. The more competition at the lower end of basically smaller manufacturers making really good quality, if they are really good quality, that would have an effect. But I just don't see prices coming down anytime soon. Look at the price of drivers now. Look at the price of sets of irons. If anything, some manufacturers are actually going the opposite way, aren't they? They're making sort of more exclusive, more top end sort of stuff. But what do you think on that point? In fact, what do you think of the first two reviews of these products? I found the first one on the Kirkland website, and actually that next one I found on Reddit in a reply to this next comment. And it's interesting. Are Kirkland a brand that you would be interested in? Is it an iron that you're gonna go, you know what? For the price point, it's still expensive, I'm not saying that, but is it worth the punt? Right, we got there, we spun into here, we hit from up there, tough shot. Let's hit a drive off this next hole. Also, don't forget to check out my full review of Callaway's TI 340 Mini driver. That is up on the channel. Go and check that out. This has just come out from Callaway. And we'll get back to those points. I've got two more I need to go through with you. It's interesting. It really is interesting. Oh, I love this club. Downwind 2, please. Please. Yes, please. And this next one was again on the COSTCO website. It said this: I was pleasantly surprised how good these irons looked when I opened the box. They felt a little heavier than my Mizunos, which I didn't like. I hit them on the launch monitor and they did have a lot of spin and a very high flight compared to my Mizuno's JPX 923 irons. I also lost about 7 to 10 yards. The flight was good and consistent, but I'll be returning them because I prefer my Mizunos. I recommend them for someone looking for a lot of spin and control. Now, isn't that interesting? That's now two comments saying they found that the golf ball was going shorter. Is it the point that actually these irons are good, they just brought them out a little too soon? Maybe they just need to refine them a little more? Because we know, right? I mean, if they have ripped off completely the TaylorMades, then that is really bad, but surely they can't do that. Well, they can't do that, we know that. So there is gonna be compromises somewhere, and maybe those compromises just need working on a little more. Now, I'd actually love to know if you have purchased anything from COSTCO and it's not quite performed, or it has performed. Let me know down below in the comments. As I said, we've got a couple more. There was the first one, this is the second one. Wowzers, we have caught that fine. That does mean that this par 5 though, I think we can reach it in 2. So we will go for that. Look where the flag is, by the way. Nasty flag just there. Nasty, nasty. Right, let me just get a yardage, but let me read this one out to you. There's basically a couple of points I want to bring up here. So the first point in this comment was that very good value and price and feel comparable in distance to name brands he's used in the past, including Cobra and Mizuno. So a good positive comment. And you're gonna get that. But it comes back to my argument of manufacturing quality. This other one said this: hey, I got the irons recently and I took them with my son to the range to try them out. I bought them on a whim, and if they stink, I could always return them quickly. First impressions, I'm honestly surprisingly into the profile. The look, the top line, the finish resemble the profile of the P790s. And that's where I guess the issue is, or one of the issues are. And let me read more of this, which is really quite interesting. It said, lambkin grip is solid and close to a Tour Velvet 360. So also commenting here on what you get as the accessory pieces. So I guess the grip and the shaft. Took me a while to get into the swing of things, as in get in them. But when I found them at the center of the club, they felt really pure. When you thin them, you will know it. I wouldn't exactly say they're crazy forgiving, but when you find the center, the feel is exceptional for the price. The shafts gave the ball flight a little higher trajectory than I got with my old sticks, but the distance was comparable. And I find that really quite interesting. Again, we're seeing a few characteristics of them being a little bit on the spinny side. And if you also think the TaylorMade P790s are designed for like ultimate forgiveness in the hollow-headed iron, and if they aren't doing that, again, it comes back if they made a bit of a mistake. Yes, we are going for it. Going driver, driver to this par 5. No, not the head cover. Sorry, I was about to lose the head cover. Driver, driver. Bit of a push. Be safe, be dry. It is. Wow. That went much further than I thought. It's a little bit of a divot. So I guess my conclusion here, and why I really wanted to talk about this, is because I think there is a real place in the market for a set of irons like this. But if they come out too early, too soon, and the tech's not quite ready at that lower price point, you will find discrepancies. You will find people will return them. And I know people will return irons in general, but they have to be right. They have to be right, because if they're not right and people buy them at the cheaper end of the market and they don't perform, that will affect how many people play golf. There is a space for this, because I want more people to play golf, and that is a brilliant thing and a great point. And a lot of the points that I found were, these irons are good if you're just getting into the game. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is, if something's brought out too soon, it's going to affect the brand. It's going to be a little bit of a mistake because it's not going to do what it says on the tin. Whereas these more expensive irons, maybe they are overpriced. Maybe they shouldn't be as expensive as they actually are. But my point is, there's obviously a little bit more that goes into them. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel.